way we do things have become easier, faster, and overall more efficient, all thanks to technology. Welcome to Supermatics, your number one channel for mathematics solution. In today's video, we shall be solving these simultaneous linear equations using a graph paper, doing it manually, and by using technology. Subscribe as we go on. To solve these simultaneous equations, y equals to 2x plus 6 and x plus 2y equals to 2 graphically. The first step that we're going to take is to prepare the table of values. So, step 1, prepare the table of values for each equation. Now, for the first equation, let's have the table somewhere. The first equation is y equals to 2x plus 6. So we have values for x and values for y. Now, for any linear equation like this, two values should be okay. But we can always add a third value so that there won't be any mistake, there won't be any error in the process. For these equations, we're going to choose 3 values of x and we'll find the corresponding values of y. Let's try out 0, 1, and 2. For x, don't forget the equation is y equals to 2x plus 6. So we write it on top of the table. And all we just do now is substitute these chosen values into the given equation. So the equation is y equals to 2x plus 6. That's for equation 1. So we try when x is 0. When x is 0, the equation becomes y equals to 2 times 0 plus 6. And 2 times 0 is 0, so we have 0 plus 6, and that is 6. So when x is 0, y is 6. We try when x is 1. Now when x is 1, the equation becomes 2 times 1 plus 6. And that becomes 2 for 2 times 1 plus 6, which is 8. That's 8 for when y is 1. When x is 1, y is 8. Now when x is 2, substituting, we have y equals to 2 times 2 plus 6, and that's 4 plus 6, which is 10. So we have 10 for this. That's for the first equation. Now the second equation, we can call this table 1. That's the table for the first equation. For the second equation, we've got x plus 2y equals to 2. We can draw the table for that one as well. Now the table, we may use the same values of x, the 0, 1, and 2, or we may choose different values. But to be on the safer side, it is good we make use of the same values, since we'll be drawing the equations on the same graph and using the same scale for both lines. That's why it's important that we use values that are not too far away from each other. So in this case, we're going to use 0, 1, and 2 as well. The equation is x plus 2y equals to 2. And we are using 0, 1, and 2 as usual. However, in this equation, because we are looking for the value of y, and it is important that we make y the subject of the formula first, so that we have 2y equals to 2 minus x when we subtract x from both sides. Then, dividing both sides by 2 will give us y equals to 2 minus x over 2. So now we can substitute the values. So to start with, when x equals to 0, as seen in the table, we have y to the 2 minus 0 over 2. 2 minus 0 is 2, so we have 2 over 2, and that is 1. So when x is 0, y is 1. Then we go for when x is 1 and substitute the value so that we have y equals to 2 minus 1 over 2. That's 1 over 2, which we can write as 0.5. So when x is 1, y is 0.5. Then we try out when x is 2, the last on the table. So when x is 2, y is going to be 2 minus 2 over 2. That's 0 over 2, which is 0. So we put in 0. for when x is 2. The next step, which is step 2, is to plot the graph. We draw the graph for the two equations. Now, here is the second step, which is drawing the graph of the two equations in order to determine their solution. So the tables we prepared earlier on, I brought them in. This is the table for equation 1. Here is the table for equation 2. And it's important to title your graph after putting the dates, but dates in our own case may not be necessary. Simultaneous equations is the title. Then based on our values, we are going to draw the axis. We choose a scale, then draw the axis. Now, based on the values in our table, a scale of 2 centimeters to 1 unit on the x-axis will be okay. So on the x-axis, 2 centimeters will represent 1 unit. Then on the y-axis, a scale of 2 centimeters to 2 units rather should be okay on the y-axis based on the values we obtained in our tables. Now, we draw the axis, which might be close to the middle of the graph book. Don't forget, each square face here is 2 centimeters in the type of graph that is being used, the type of graph paper that is being used. So the y-axis is drawn, then the x-axis as well should be drawn. And the two of them have been placed somewhere in the middle to accommodate possible negative values. That's the x-axis. So we label the axis. Here is x and here is y. Then according to where the two axes meet is called origin. That's the 0, the starting point. So to the left, negative values on the x-axis, then to the right, positive values. Up above the origin on the y-axis, positive values, and below the origin, negative values. So starting with the x-axis value, according to the scale we are using, 2 centimeters to 1 unit, here is going to be 1, this is going to be 2, while this is going to be 3, then this is going to be 4. We may stop there. Our value is actually not more than 2 on the graph, though we may need extra, as the case may be. We may need it. Then to the left, we've got -1, -2 on the next thick line, -3 on the next thick line. We may stop there. On the y-axis, the first is going to be 2, according to the scale of that axis. We have 4, we have 6, we have 8, we have 10. Then downwards here, -2, -4, -6. Let's stop there for now. Now, the first equation, y equals to 2x plus 2. We are plotting the points when x is 0. X is 0 here on the x-axis. Y, the value of y is 6, and y is 6 here. So we make a point there. We can use a small circle. Then when x is 1, y is 8. So x is 1 here, y is 8 here. The intersection of the two lines, this point, gives the required point. Then the third, when x is 2, y is 10. Here is the point. Now that the 3 points are done for equation 1, we join them by a straight line, and we can extend the line to be longer than that. And it has to be the ruler has to be carefully set and the line carefully drawn so that it doesn't go beyond the point. Now we have equation 1 drawn. We have to put the equation there. That is y equals to 2x plus 6 on the line. Now the second equation, x plus 2y equals to 2. Now when x is 0 here again, y is 1. But based on the scale we are using here, 1 should be between 0 and 2. And there are 10 small lines between 0 and 2, so 1 is going to be on the 5th one. So this is the point for 1. Here is 1. When x is 1, y is 0.5. 0.5 will still be under, between 0 and 1. And there are 5 small lines between 0 and 1, so it should be between the second and the third line. This space and 1, their intersection, gives the required point. Then when x is 2, y was found to be 0. X is 2 here, and y is 0 on this line, on the x-axis, where we have 0 here from the origin. We trace it down to this place. So here is the point, the third one. Then we join the 3 points together by a straight line as usual. And all we just ensure is that the lines cross. So we extend the second line as well until the two of them cross. Now that we have the line, again, we are going to label the second equation, which is x plus 2y equals to 2. That is the second equation. Now, the solution to the simultaneous equation that we've got here will be the intersection, the point of intersection of the two lines. The two lines intersect here. So if they intersect here, we are going to need to trace it to the x-axis to get the value of x, and trace it to the y-axis to get the value of y. And this is actually the third step in a graphical approach to finding the solutions of simultaneous equation. Now from here, the two lines cross at the point where x is minus 2. So x comma y will be minus 2 for x, and on the y-axis it is 2. It's actually above the origin. So the solution to the simultaneous equation is x equals to minus 2 and y equals to 2. Now finally, back to where we started from, we can, after drawing the graph, put step 3, which is find the solution or locate the point. So we locate the points of intersection to get the solution. That we have already done on the graph. So all we just do here is to bring the values here for our solution. So the solution to the simultaneous equation, x comma y, is minus 2 comma 2. This simply means that x is minus 2 and y is 2.
Now that we have seen how to draw the graph of simultaneous linear equations manually by drawing it on actual graph paper, we want to see how to use technology even to do it. And you can judge which is faster, which is more efficient, though they bring the same result, as you will see. There are different graphing calculators or applications or software that can be used to achieve this. But for this video, we are using GeoGebra. GeoGebra is one of the top graphing calculators out there. If you are yet to have it, you can go to any app store. You will find it there. Now, here is the interface of GeoGebra graphing calculator. We shall be making another video to give you details of how to use GeoGebra generally. But for today, we want to see how to use it to solve the simultaneous linear equations. So once again, here is the interface, and all we need to do, we don't even need to draw out the table of values. All we need to do is to input the equations, and our graph, our lines, the straight lines will be drawn automatically. Now, where do we get this done? We go to where you can see algebra, then it's displaying input. You can click on the plus sign and then click on expression in order to enter the equation. So for equation 1, we've got y equals to 2x plus 6. So we have y equals to 2x plus 6. Now you can see the equation of that line in red. And where you can see the dots, the black dots actually showing the intercept of the line. This is going to be for another day. Now the second equation, we go to the same algebra again, then click on the plus sign to input the second equation, click on expression. The second equation is x plus 2y equals to 2. The second equation has been drawn also. The color for that is orange. So where the two lines intersect gives the solution to the simultaneous linear equation. And the two equations intersect here, where we click and you can see displaying the solution, minus 2, comma 2. So x is minus 2 and y is 2. The same as we had on the graph, but this time around faster, easier, and more efficiently. Now, we are not insinuating that drawing the graph on paper is bad. There are still some top exams that requires the use of actual graph paper. In that case, we need to learn how to do both. We need to learn how to do both. Both are equally important. So it depends on the requirements of whatever examination we are doing. And we believe that with this video, you'll be able to see how to do it manually and how to do it using technology, that is a graphing calculator. Try it out all by yourself. Let us know your results, your thoughts, suggestions, questions in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more, especially when a video detailing how to use graphing calculators like GeoGebra will be coming out. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you again.